Hello everyone and welcome to my 2024 Caulfield Cup tips video, where in this video I'm going to be running through some main lead-up races and giving my selections for the big race. I don't think it's the best Caulfield Cup edition we've seen, but it's certainly competitive, so we'll get on with the market. The favourite is Buckaroo at $4.60 ahead of Elias for the Waterhouse Bot team at $7, $8 for both the Metropolitan pair, Zardozi and Land Legend, $9 for Denied Knowledge off the week backup, Sayedity Sadati at $10, Warmongers out to $15, the 4-year-old, Duke Decessor out to $21 with the Japanese Warp Speed, Young Werther also $21, then you've got Coco's Sun and Positivity both at $26, Circle of Fire, the Sydney Cup winners at $34, Muramasa Huetor is at $51, Valiant King 61, and Carlapore 100 to 1. Now we're going to get on to how I've mapped this race. Now it's pretty hard to map an 18 horse race, but I've got a little something like this. I reckon Denied Knowledge flies across from the wide gate with the lightweight to lead. Elias, I think they'll push on with the job and do some work around that first corner. I think they'll be probably 4, maybe 3 or 4 wide around the first corner with Elias, but they'll push on to be outside the leader. Duke Decessor pushes up early, but then restrains back to let Denied Knowledge cross. Warmonger could be the horse that gets trapped 3 wide. I think they're going to roll more forward for this Caulfield Cup, and it might risk getting trapped out wide from that gate. I don't think it has the speed of a Denied Knowledge or an Elias to be right in the lead. Positivity gets a good run. Land Legend is close enough from that gate, Zach Purton on, to be competitive. Buckaroo, I think it could be in the first half of the field. Zardozi 3 wide in the 3 wide line just off midfield. I've got it mapped, and apart from that there's a few outsiders towards the back. So we're going to get straight on now with some replays. The first replay we're going to be taking a look at is of the 2024 Turnal Stakes, won by Bea Sistina, but she's not in this race. Highlighted is Buckaroo, Elias, who else have we got? Warmonger, Duke Decessor, Young Werther, and also Circle of Fire. Now, out of this race, I thought Buckaroo was very good, stormed home from the back, and out of the 6 highlighted runners, finished in front. Elias had to do some work from that wide gate, ended up starting favourite on this day, and wasn't disgraced, only beaten a length and a half. I thought those 2 horses were probably the horses to take out of this race, and the market thinks so as well. Warmonger had to get back, and I was expecting more. That might have been second up syndrome off a very fast run race on a heavy track, transferring up to the 2,000 metres. That might have had something to do with it, but would have liked to see it run a bit better. Duke Decessor was really good. Young Werther was also very good, and Circle of Fire was doing some good work late. Circle of Fire, I would be giving it a really good chance only if it finished closer. The fact that it finished 6.5 lengths off the eventual winner in Bea Sistina, in my mind, I think, it'll want further than the 2,400 metres even of a Caulfield Cup. It was a Sydney Cup winner of 3,200 metres last preparation. I think it wants a Melbourne Cup trip. I always like to see with these lead-up races, especially the Turnal Stakes, because it's 2,000 metres as opposed to the Caulfield Cup over 2,400 metres, who's doing the best work through the line. And in my opinion, out of the Turnal Stakes, it was, 3 horses, Buckaroo, Duke Decessor, and Circle of Fire. Like I already said, I think Circle of Fire settled too far back, was beaten by too far of a margin to be a good winning chance. Buckaroo, and I like Duke Decessor, although Duke Decessor's rock hard fit, whereas Buckaroo and Elias are the 2 horses that are really peaking in their preparations now, so they could go on with it. That's how I read the Turnbull. Now we're going to take a look at the win of Land Legend in the Metropolitan at Group 1 level. Zardozi also in this race. Now, Zardozi, I reckon, should have won. It was 3 wide, no cover for majority of the race. It should have won it in the steward's room as they collided around the corner, but it didn't, and it ended up getting beaten a whisker. Zardozi gets I think it's about a 2 kilo weight swing on Land Legend of this performance. So I think you have to put Zardozi ahead of Land Legend on Saturday. Zardozi was really good. as I mapped it on Saturday, I think it gets in the 3 wide line just off midfield. Up to this distance range of 2400, 2500, I think is Zardosi's sweet spot. I think that's where it runs its best races, and it's ready to peak this campaign. Land Legend, as I said, I think Zardozi can turn the tables on him, but what I do like is that he's a winner over the 2600 metres, so if it's a solidly run Caulfield Cup like it usually is, it should be able to stay. And it's also got Zach Purton on, and he's a really, really good jockey, tearing it up in Hong Kong, and comes over to Australia on Saturday for the Caulfield Cup. Next, we're going to take a look at the Kingston Town Stakes. This is featuring Elias, Land Legend, and Zardozi. I've decided to include this replay just so we can half get a gauge of how the Turnbull compares to the Metropolitan. Obviously, Elias finished a length and a half off the winner in the Turnbull. Elias ended up beating Zardozi by 4 lengths on this occasion, and Land Legend by 5 lengths. Elias just defeated Chaya Wolf on this day, and Chaya Wolf went on to win the Epsom, so I see this to be a good form reference. Zardozi and Land Legend, I think their best or their peak ratings come out where they're over 24 or 2500, so they probably could have finished, if this race, the Kingston Town that we're taking a look at now, was over 24 or 2500 metres, maybe Land Legend or Zardozi may have finished closer or even finished in front of Elias. We don't know, but over the 2000 metres, it seems that Elias is pretty dominant over these two Metropolitan horses, which means Buckaroo would most likely also be dominant over Zardozi and Land Legend, considering Buckaroo beat Elias by a length and a half in the Turnbull. That's how I read the Kingston Town. 2 different horses now in the Caulfield Stakes last week. Deny Knowledge beat home Mr. Brightside Tissue. Coco's Sun is also highlighted. I'm not sure why Racing.com don't have the normal race footage. The chopper cam was the only one I could find, but basically Deny Knowledge led by about 5 or 6 Pride of Jenny style down that side at Caulfield and was able to hold on. I thought the track was pretty biased towards horses on the fence and leaders. A few of the ratings gurus don't think so, but that's just how I saw it. Deny Knowledge did really well to win on this occasion. It's a Group 1 winner over Mr. Brightside now, which I never thought I'd say that, but it is. On Saturday, draws gate 17, which is not ideal, but I'm also not too concerned about it because a horse like Incentivize won from gate 18, settling on speed back in 2021. Now, Deny Knowledge is no Incentivize, but I don't see the gate to be much of a query. Craig Newitt on, he's a front-running rider, will probably drive it to the front. And 2400 metres, a solidly run 2400 metres is a query, but it's a winner of the Grafton Cup over 2350, so it's close. The last replay we're going to be taking a look at is of the Group 1 Underwood Stakes over the 1800 metres at Caulfield, won by Buckaroo. Deny Knowledge is also in this race with Duke de Sessa. Now, in this race, Buckaroo was third up, and it won with some authority. Deny Knowledge was, I don't know if it was first up. It was off a 9-week spell, off a Grafton Cup win, so I guess that's first up, isn't it? Deny Knowledge was first up. Duke de Sessa was fit and in the lead. Obviously, Buckaroo was dominant, and Deny Knowledge gets 2 kilo weight swing on Buckaroo off this performance, which isn't enough to close the gap, but Deny Knowledge was conceding race fitness on this day, and Deny Knowledge didn't get to lead. It had to pull out 4 wide down the side to try and make ground, and Buckaroo just tagged it into the race, and that's how it slingshotted around the home corner and won. So I think there was a lot of merit in Deny Knowledge's performance. Duke de Sessa was good through the line again, and Buckaroo was utterly dominant in that race. I wanted to make a mention of Dan O'Sullivan's Racing.com weight for age performance rankings, because I think they're quite interesting when lining some of these horses up. If you don't know what these numbers are, you might have to do some more research. I'll leave a link to the article that this is on in the description of this video, so you can see he does a little summary down the bottom of how he measures the numbers. But basically, Buckaroo is a 103.2 and Elias is a 99.8 out of the Turnbull Stakes. You can also see Zardozi and Land Legends numbers there, but basically they're weight for age adjusted, and Buckaroo rated 3.4 points higher than Elias. Now, Dan O'Sullivan says that about 2 points is equal to 1 length, so they're actually quite close. But now we're going to look at Deny Knowledge's performance from last week. It was a 102. So if it's weight for age adjusted, just say we're comparing Buckaroo and Elias in this instance, Buckaroo would rate 1.2 points higher than Deny Knowledge at weight for age level, which is Deny Knowledge conceding 2 kilos to Buckaroo. But on Saturday, Buckaroo concedes 4 kilos to Deny Knowledge. So if 2 kilos is usually equal to just over a length, so I'm going to add 2.5 points onto Deny Knowledge's rating, and it's 1.3 rating points higher than Buckaroo. So I can see why Deny Knowledge is a good winning chance, because lining up that way, Deny Knowledge has gone to a new peak last week. Off the week back up, it could do something special. Now let's get on to my Caulfield Cup selections. I've got Deny Knowledge on top. I can't believe I'm saying that. If you had told me last Tuesday that Deny Knowledge would be my on-top Caulfield Cup selection, I probably would have deactivated my YouTube account. But it's on top. I just think it'll fly across from that gate with the lightweight. Craig Newitt, brilliant front-running rider. Went to a new peak last week, beating Mr. Brightside. Not many horses can do that. And I can just imagine Matt Hill saying it about the 300 metres. But around the corner, Deny Knowledge gives them the slip. Sprints 2 lengths in front of Duke de Sessa. And then we'll see how it goes inside the last 100 metres when it's fatiguing. But yeah, I think Deny Knowledge can win. I've got it ahead of Buckaroo, who is a very good winning chance. The small query is that it's only won up to 1,800 metres. Will it be able to cope with a solidly run 2,400 metres race? I'm not too sure. In for third, Zardozi. We know it can run the distance. It looks to get a perfect map. 51 kilos. It can most definitely win. And in for fourth, I've got Elias. I think it'll have to do some work around that first corner, and it's a small query also at the 2,400 metres, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Hopefully I've found the Caulfield Cup winner for you. Hopefully this video was informative, and until the next video, bye for now.